Now is someone all too familiar with the extremist ideology of white supremacists and the type of hateful content it breeds. Shannon Martinez is a reformed neo-Nazi who now helps former and current extremists make their way out of violence and hate-based groups. She joins us now live from Washington. Shannon, thank you so much for joining us. And before we get into the wider issue, I wanted to ask you about the social media angle. What role does social media play in cultivating extremists, spreading their message of hate and inciting violence?
I think that it definitely has increased the expanse of the reach of these materials to so many people. I am hesitant to pin it completely on the back of social media because I do think that there are public figures that are also empowering people with hate-based ideologies to feel emboldened. I think social media has some soul searching to do and really examine their terms of service and what they are willing to allow on their private platforms.
Shannon, you were a white supremacist. You were a neo-Nazi. How were you able to break out of that cycle of hatred?
I was very lucky that I had a personal encounter with a woman who decided to look past the vile and hate-filled human that I had become and instead see a hurting and struggling young woman. She took me into her home and allowed me to live there and provided stability and a place where I could feel the space around me expand so I could begin to examine this thing that my life had become. I was in that environment, I was able to begin to rehumanize and come to terms with the terrible and hurt and hate-filled ideology that I was spewing out on a regular basis.
You know, Shannon, it really comes down to just that human connection, to be able to reach out to one another and to, as you said, humanize people around us. So such terrible ideology of hatred doesn't continue to circulate out there. Unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it at that. Shannon Martinez of the Free Radicals Project, a reformed former neo-Nazi, now helping others to just break out of that ideology. Shannon, thank you so much. Here in Christchurch.